Hello! Thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For this week's read, I'm using the Thelema Tarot. Thelema Tarot by Renata Lechner. Where is that? There's that. Hopefully you can see it. The website is at the bottom here. I think it's Los Garribo. Feel free to freeze frame on that if you want that information. Supportive Oracle cards. Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Illustrated by Jesse Reish. And then there's the website at the bottom. I want to say this one's a Hay House one. I don't remember. Is it Hay House? Yep, hayhouse.com. There at the bottom if you're interested. Hopefully that's focusing. Now that I think of it. And for the dice I'm using, the dice shop, and you go to, I think it's Math Art Fun. Hopefully you can see that too. mathartfun.com. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana. I substitute 22 for 0 for the Fool. I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and then I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element that matches up with the minor arcana. Anything else? No. Alright, so if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for tuning in, and let's get on to your reading. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Scorpio? Kind of eyeing the camera. It shut off on me once today. I'm hoping it's going to play nice. Let's see if it plays nice. Everything's very tight. Everything's very tight in the sense of, like, it's almost like everything's happening all at once. What is that? So my first thought is, like, these readings are valid for whenever you come to them. So I think this is going to take a season, maybe two. A season or two. So whenever you're watching this, so I'm recording this in the spring. I'm kind of getting that this is going to end near the end of summer, by the way. But if you're watching this, for example, in the winter, this will probably end at the end of spring. You know what I mean? So whatever season it is, it's at the end of the next season. So you know what I'm saying? So if it's like you're watching this, maybe you're watching this in the summertime, at the end of fall, this is going to end. So at the end of the next season, if you follow me, this seems like when this situation is going to end. But it is coming up to an ending, whatever this is. I think the thing we got to figure out is if you want this to be an ending or not, is more of the question I'm getting. Because this seems to be a situation of your creation. You created this situation. It's like, there's a lot of hiccups, which makes me like, I keep getting that you created this situation. Now, I can also add in here, even though you created the situation, this is maybe not exactly where you wanted it to be at this current moment. But the reason this situation exists is because you moved it forward. So take that with a grain of salt. The situation, I also get, it's time to kind of like look at it for what it really is. Look at it for how you contributed to it. And then decide, you know what, maybe it's time to let this go. All right, so take it with a grain of salt. This does seem like, Scorpio tends to deal with life, though. So I think of Scorpio as the person who kind of like, all right, this is happening, let me just deal with it. And it just feels like you guys get right into it and let you feel it right out. So for those of you that this is going to hit with, I don't think you're going to be fighting that you created it. I think you'll also acknowledge, though, it kind of took a life of its own. Maybe didn't go exactly where you wanted it to go. But I feel like you started the situation. But now it's time to look at it in the sense of, like, why is it where it is? And part of this is that you didn't have control of the whole thing. If the situation worked the way you thought it was going to, the way you feel it should have maybe, this would be somewhere different right now. But other people are involved. We're co-creating, right? Whatever this is going on, everybody has their input. Is Scorpio very strong? Obviously. I feel like it's obviously anyway. But I also feel like a lot of other people are involved in here. People are doing what they want to do. People are making their own choices. So even though you may have started this situation and you chose to be a part of it, you didn't have control of every little piece of it, and that's why it is where it is. I don't know, what are we trying to talk about with this? Like, because it's like there's something trying to come forward and I'm not quite clicking into it. So I'm trying to get a little bit more centered with the energy. Like, am I avoiding it for a reason? There's a block. Okay. There's a block that you're releasing, though. I feel like you're done with it, whatever it is. The end of the next season. So, like, it's spring now, the end of summer. If you're watching this during fall, the end of winter, that type of thing. Whatever this is, it's not going to be just, like, gone. I feel like you're choosing to start letting it go. And when I get this Four of Pentacles, it's not like you're making every decision right now. I'm getting that Four of Pentacles, like I'm standing there and I'm looking at it all. And I'm taking it all in and I'm like deciding where I want things to go. I feel like I'm taking a moment to really kind of like, all right, I am going to like shut this down. But for example, if I was looking at a cake factory, all right, who am I going to give off the work to? Because there's like all these orders that I'm used to doing. Who am I going to give all these orders to, these other companies? Where am I going to sell this stuff to? Where are these workers going to go who used to work for me? When I'm ready to go and I get that far, who am I going to sell this factory to or this building to let it go? What am I going to do after it? I feel like I'm just kind of like making those... I don't know if I'm overly analyzing it, but I'm just kind of like, like this is going to go there, that's going to go there, this is where that's going to go, this is how I'm going to like let go of these things. So I'm trying to make it really simple because it feels very technical to start. You know what I mean? There's these 5 orders we do every month. So I'm working with these other bakeries so they can take them. These workers, they're not going to have their... But maybe some of these... Maybe they can go with these other bakeries or I'll give them a heads up so they can find other places to go. The pans and the instruments we've been using, I'm selling them here, I'm selling them there, I'm letting them go. This building, I'm going to put that up there. I'm going to let this person have a first shot if they want to buy this building. And then, I'm going to sell the name. Maybe I'm even going to sell the name of the business. I'm going to sell the rights to the whole business. I'm going to let it go. I keep feeling it's something like that. I'm taking a minute to decide where I'm going to put things. This can obviously evolve as you keep moving forward, but I'm getting like a base plan to start from, so I have something to work for, so I can keep moving forward and kind of like I have an idea and this is where I'm going, because it does seem to move forward fairly quickly. And I'm going to make a quick decision where I want everything to go, and I'm going to start working on moving it into those places. As I don't think it's going to be any shock to you. Yeah, random energy comes in. I don't think that's going to be any shock to you. The Wheel of Fortune comes in. As you're trying to take things apart, there's going to be energy here where people try to get you to do other things. You got the Queen of Swords coming in trying to give their opinion. They got another person over here saying, you know what, before you do that, Scorpio, why don't we slow up and why don't we wait a couple years before you do that? Don't go that route. That's not for you. The advice is that you have your base plan. Hopefully you have your base plan. Stick with your base plan. Stick with your base plan. Whatever the original thought was, and I understand that maybe for some of you watching this reading, you're like, well, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe you'll do that. Maybe you weren't considering that to begin with. If you have that base plan, just stick with your base plan. Just keep going with what you want. Just keep sticking with your base plan. Keep moving forward. It's the easiest for you. Other people have ideas about what they want you to do. Don't be swayed by that. This is not that time for that. This is what you want. You need this to turn out a certain way. If you have that base plan and you keep referring back to it, when things start to stagnate or other people are trying to pull you off and get you to do other things, just go back to your plan, execute your plan. Because I get if you keep moving forward to that, the success you already planned for, that base plan you already planned for, will get this thing to move on, and it will move in a way that's very successful for you. This is good. This is something you want to let go of, is what I'm getting. Wherever it is, again, wherever this current situation is, I don't feel like it's where you actually wanted it to be. I got this Ten of Swords, like, this isn't where I planned for it to be originally, but because this is where it is, I know what I want to do, and I'm making my decision. Keep moving forward with your plan. Again, I keep getting other people pushing in, and there might be some very convincing pushes, but I feel like stick with your plan. This is about where you want to be in life. This is about where you want to go in life. And it's better if you follow your vision. Everything will sort out and things will be fine afterwards. The version I'm also getting is like, if you think about a Band-Aid, this is a very simple one. If you do it other people's way, it's like pulling that Band-Aid off really slow. It's like, it makes me think like a Band-Aid all the way down your arm. It's like pulling it off very, 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 very slow. It's almost like when people wax. Like, I've seen videos where people wax their arms, and I'm just like, if you're taking that really, 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 really slow, it's extremely painful. If you do it your way, it's kind of like whoosh, and it's done. You know what I mean? It's easier for you. It's actually easier for everybody else, whether they agree with that or not, whether they like that or not, for you to just rip it right off and keep going. If you stick with your plan, that's connecting more to that rip it right off energy. The situation is ending. Not everybody likes that, because other people have to take responsibility for their own choices after this. That's not a bad thing. Life is setting this up with purpose. Other people having to make choices for their own lives, that's what life's about. I think of Scorpio, you do take on a lot of weight for other people emotionally at times. Whether you mean to or not, I feel like people kind of like, they catch into your energy and they just kind of ride your coattails. I just feel like they do that. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but I feel like they ride your coattails. When you end this situation, they can't do that anymore, and they don't like that. But it's better for them to, do it themselves. So it is better for them. It's healthier for them. They need the courage to do that, and by you stepping away and kind of like, I'm not going to do that for you anymore, they don't like that. They're going to try to fight against that, but they'll get over it, and they'll actually be stronger for it. They'll be healthier for it, too. Your energy is going somewhere completely else. Completely else? Yep, sure, why not? Completely somewhere else. I know I'm saying that word wrong. I'm saying something wrong there. This feels very much like a timing card to me. I feel like they're saying by the end of next season, you will have started. If you stick to your plan, by the end of next season, whatever. So, example, right now it's spring. Next season, summer. By the end of summer, or if you're watching this in the fall, by the end of winter, you know how that goes. I'm getting this as a timing card saying by the end of the next season, you will have moved on and you will have started something new. A whole different situation will start for you. And there's victory there for you. What that is, you got to get there first. You can't get to this victory, you can't start that whole new situation until you get out of this one. That's pretty fast in my opinion. So, the end of whatever next season is, so it is whatever season it is now, whatever the next season is, by the end of the next season, you'll be into this next energy if you just stick to your plan. And I feel like for those of you that this is going to really connect with, that's what you want anyway. So why drag it out? Might as well move on, move forward, and move into something better. I don't see you having a hard time accepting that. I think it's all about you being loyal to your plan, not what somebody else wants. That's all it takes, is you being loyal to your plan, being loyal to yourself. You'll get there. You'll get there. Anything else? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.